I mean, why using plus sign? Let's take a look. The top portion is saying that if we have f of 1, 4, then we will get 5. F of 2, 5, we get 12. F of 3, 6, we get 21. And the question is, based on this, what's f of 8, 11? To me, this is like a legitimate math question, but truth to be told though, there are infinitely many ways to fill in this question mark, I believe. But I'm gonna do it the most obvious way. But anyways, going back to the original question, here is the deal. If you want to make these kind of things more like internet friendly or like the so-called viral math questions for the internet, then you can use a symbol that will kind of make people mad, such as the plus symbol. This is how you kind of make a puzzle, that kind of thing. But anyways, if you have 1 plus 4 is equal to 5, that's okay. But next, if you say 2 plus 5 is equal to 12, 3 plus 6 is equal to 21, then you can clearly see that this plus symbol is no longer the plus symbol that we used to know, right? It secretly got changed to a secret operation. But anyways though, based on this right here, we are going to figure out what is the value for 8 plus 11. Seriously, it's the same thing as this. I'm going to work with that, and I'm going to write it down as, we would like to figure out f. This is a multivariable function because we will have two independent variables. I will just call them x and y. I'm going to do it the most obvious way to figure out a pattern for it, and let's have a look. If we have 1 and 4, we get 5. That doesn't really help because 1 plus 4, the regular way, it does give us 5. But if you have 2 and 5, gives us 12. Well, 2 times 6 gives us 12. Okay, how about if you look at 3 and 6? If you multiply 3 and 6, that's 18. But 3 times 7 is equal to 21. And this is 2 times 6. And if you use that for the first one, if it's 1 times 1 more than this number, which is just 5, 1 times 5 does give us 5. So I believe that is the pattern. If you have f of x, y, all you have to do is keep the first input, and then you multiply that by 1 more than y, so it's y plus 1. Therefore, if you want to figure out f of 8, 11, you're just going to follow this rule. 8 is the x value, 11 is the y value, so you will just get 8 times 11 plus 1, and that's 8 times 12, and that will be 96. And that's it. And again, if you want to make it more like a puzzle looking, you can totally just change the f function to a plus symbol like this. So like I said earlier, this is not the only way to answer this question, because as long as you can come up with a function that will satisfy these three conditions, then it should be legitimate, right? So I'm going to give you guys another possibility. So I'm going to give you guys another formula. Have a look. First, f of x, y, I'm just going to keep it with what we have earlier, x times y plus 1. Well, if we don't want to mess up with these three values, you can do the following. Here, x values are 1, 2, and 3. All we have to do is, let's add x minus 1. When we do this, you'll see, when you put 1 into the x here, we're just adding 0. So that's not going to mess up this value if you plug in 4 into the y. But of course, if you're plugging 2 into here, then this is going to be 1, right? So that's going to mess this up, but don't worry, because all we have to do next is just multiply that by x minus 2. So when you plug in 2 into here, that's just going to give you 0. Lastly, here we have x being 3. Just multiply by x minus 3. Now you can go ahead and check. Let's say this one right here, 3, 6. 3 and 6. This is still going to give you 21, 3 times 7. And because when you plug in 3 into here, that will give you 0. So this part doesn't matter anymore. So that will still give us that. And it's the same for the other ones. So based on this, I can say f of 8, 11. This is just going to be 8 times 11 plus 1, which is still 96. That's what we got earlier. But we will have plus 8 minus 1, 8 minus 2, and then 8 minus 3. Now have a look. This right here is 96. And all this right here, we just have to add 7 times 6 times 5. So that's 30, that's 21. Plus that, altogether, we end up with 306. And that's also a legitimate answer. What do you guys think? That's it.